JessicaRayPlays, and welcome back to the channel. I know it has been a long time since you guys have seen me. I think about 2-3 weeks now since I have posted a video. If you aren't on Discord, then you probably have no idea what's been going on, but there's just been a lot of things that's been going on in my personal life. A lot of things that I haven't grieved at yet, or even had that capacity to do so, because I've just been so busy in life in general. Obviously with my actual full-time job that I have, I've just been busy with it. A lot of stuff's been going on. So this is what this video is about. It's just a little update on everything. I'm going to be explaining everything, doing a lot more than what I usually do, because usually I just tell you things about myself, and I hardly never tell anything about my family or what's going on with them, unless, my mods, they know a couple of things. But I've just never had the feeling or the urge to go on here and say things about, outside of my family, because I always feel like it's theirs. It's not mine. It's not my story to tell. But I feel like with my platform on YouTube, even though it's not a lot, I can still offer that support to somebody else that is going through or has been through the same stuff as I'm going through. And even though I'm still working through my stuff, I can still be that good sounding board for another person. And that's what I want to be. I want to be somebody else's, ear to listen to, or somebody's shoulder to cry on. And I think that's a really good thing to have in this world, especially in these times. So when you're a child, you always dream about being whatever you want to be. Some people do astronauts, whatever. I always wanted to be a canine police officer. Not just any police officer. I want to be a canine police officer because I wanted to help people find their loved ones that were missing, or in other worst cases, obviously, I wanted to be a cadaver canine police officer. I didn't want to be in the narcotics and all that stuff. I wanted to be the one that helped people to grieve. That was what I sought out for. I just really loved it. And then obviously CSI came along and wrecked all my plans. And then I wanted to be a CSI person. I went into college, found out that there was a crap ton of chemistry involved. And that was miserable because I never took it in high school. I took biology in high school. I said chemistry was stupid. And then of course my scores were so high on the SAT that I got put into a very high-ranked chemistry class, and I had no idea what the heck was going on. I remember they were talking about finding moles, and I was like, what the crap is this? I don't even know what a freaking mole is. I mean, it's an animal, but I don't know what it is for a science class. It has to be something totally different. I took a class in anthropology. I fell in love with it because anthropology is culture-based. You learn about people's cultures. You learn what makes them different, what makes them tick, what makes them, them. And you get to experience a lot of other people's worlds that you don't normally get to experience just by yourself. In anthropology, you are taught the unconscious bias and how you form these opinions about people before you even know them. So with anthropology, you have to step back into that person's shoes and really look at how they're feeling. And I think that's why I fell in love with it so much, was because I got to see people's thoughts and their opinions and how they believe things and how they did things outside of myself. Long story short, I always wanted to help people. Always was in that. Always wanted to put my needs before others. As some of you know, I got pregnant my junior year in college. I quickly dropped my second major that I was going for, and I pursued anthropology completely because I wanted to get out. I wanted to hurry up and get out, not even care, not even thinking about the future. I was like, I'll just keep anthropology and this is what I'll do. Had my whole shebang thought out. Yeah, right. So to be an anthropologist, I would have had to gone out of state, out of Kentucky to do so. Obviously that did not work. I'm still here. I'm still in Kentucky. Still slumping it, It took losing my grandfather. I said I was going to cry. He was like a father figure to me. He literally did everything that my dad never did for me. For those of you who don't know, I found him on my birthday 6 years ago, and it's been hard. It's been hard losing somebody that was a strong presence in your life. I definitely went through all the emotions that you go through. The anger, the grief, the disbelief, everything. All of it. But I also had to stay strong because of my mother. I did name my third kid, at least the middle name wise, after him because he was so special to me. But it was in that moment that I knew that I needed to change where I was going, because the anthropology degree wasn't working out for me. Even though like he wasn't in a nursing home or like in a hospital setting, like he was at his house when I found him. I didn't want anybody else to go through that. I wanted to know that I was there for somebody when their family couldn't be. Or if they didn't have family, I wanted to be that person to hold their hand and tell them it's okay. Like, you know what? I'm here. You can leave in peace. I didn't want somebody else's loved one to go through what I went through. So I went into the nursing field, went into healthcare, and it has been the best decision I ever did. And maybe that was my calling in life. Maybe that was my true calling. I have a whole family that's in healthcare, and I was just the brat and the stubborn one that said, no thanks, I'm not going to do that because everybody else is in it. But obviously, I'm in it now. I mean, here I am. 2 years later, my grandmother passed away. We knew her passing was coming. We knew it was expected, but my grandfather's, we had no idea, and it was hard. It's hard. 2 months after I started my YouTube career, we went to Disneyland for the first time in my life ever, and it was a blast. But before we went, I found out that my stepmother that I've known for ever committed suicide. And that was hard because we were already on the road. We were already like almost halfway there. And there was nothing I could do about it. I was just literally trying to be a listening ear and calm my dad and my grandmother and be supportive. And that was something I never did get to work through because obviously I wasn't there to help them. And I still feel guilt. I still feel blame because I wasn't there to be that support system that, I knew that I could be for them. And then a month ago, I had a family member that lost her battle to breast cancer, just like my grandmother, and it brought up a lot of memories. It brought up a lot of feelings that maybe I didn't get to work through. And in that same week, I also found out that my dad's new girlfriend that he had OD'd. And again, it brought up memories of my stepmom and brought up memories of me not being able to be there. For one, they didn't tell nobody. They didn't want nobody in the family to know what was going on because maybe they were ashamed of it or maybe they just didn't want to tell nobody. And it hurt. I think we found out by seeing her obituary in the newspaper, and it was sad. It was a lot. And then obviously here's YouTube, here's me doing this stuff and struggling. You can go to videos from last November, December, and you can see where I went through a crash diet and literally lost like 15 pounds. I looked good, which is what I want to look like, but I did it in a very unhealthy way. I was eating 600, 500 calories a day, which is very not healthy, obviously. I stopped that diet, I think, like in January, and 2 months later, I had my pounds back on, and I had a little bit more because obviously my body was like, woohoo, food. So it's just been a whirlwind. And then seeing people that are just starting up YouTube and they like skyrocket and comparing myself to them, like, oh, maybe I'm just not that good. Maybe this isn't what I need to do in my life. Maybe I needed to do something more. So obviously comparing yourself is not something you need to do, and everybody's different. We all have different things in life. Maybe they had a following before. Maybe their spouse had a following before and it helped them to get better. I don't know, but obviously just beating myself up when I don't need to be beating myself up. Just going through things that I never expected to go through, especially at my age. Not even gonna lie to you guys, there's days where I said, okay, I need to film this, I need to get ready, and I look at myself on camera and I'm like, I don't want to because I'm ugly and I don't want to put makeup on. I'm literally the most low maintenance person you'll ever meet in your life, exactly how my hair is right now. Besides these few little twigs, this is how I keep it usually all the time. I literally put on mascara and a little bit of lipstick, and I put on a little bit of blush today because for once in my life, in my 31 years, my skin looks good. And I can rock it, and I'm happy. But I think I just needed some time to decompress, to just be Jessica from Kentucky, simple, laid back, chilled person and not be Jessica Ray Plays Sims YouTube content creator. So I guess all in all, I needed to learn to deal with my past trauma that I've had before. I needed to learn not to compare myself to others, which we all do every day. It's definitely part of the process that I do in my videos every single time that I do this video, when I tell you guys that I love you guys so freaking much, that you are important, you are special, and you are kind. I definitely need to follow suit in that and tell myself that every day. I need to be more appreciative of myself. I don't know when I will film again. I'm not going to sit out certain days because I've always felt like that was a struggle for me to have like a certain set schedule, especially for me in my personal life, because literally I would wait until like the last day possible, Wednesday night, 9 o'clock, I would get on here and film an hour and a half of footage, crank it out, spend 4 or 5 hours editing, upload it, do the thumbnail, when I would wake up and it would be live, and a week later it's still sitting at 20 views. It was hard. It was gut-wrenching. It was like, why am I doing this? I'm not gonna lie. Like, that's just how I felt. I know that there's tons of videos out there and there's people out there that do it 10 times better, and I'm not gonna lie and sit here and say that I hope to see other people like my content as much as I put into it. 100 baby challenge will obviously continue. I'm not going to drop that just because of everything that's going on. I do want to still continue it. I want to have 100 babies. Like, I want that to happen. I can't remember what else is out right now besides Cottage Living. I think we're on episode 8. So for Cottage Living, I plan on doing only 2 more episodes, and then the 10th one will be a finale, just because I literally think it is the least watched thing that I have going on my channel. I know it was really picking up at first, but I think that's because it was just coming out. I know there's a bunch of kit packs coming out. I have no idea what's happened. I know I've seen a couple of things about stuff, but I'd have no idea anything else. I don't even know what else is on. Oh, Big Brother. Big Brother will obviously continue as well. That will never go away until it reaches the finale, until we have the winner of that. I can't remember if there's anything else, but if there is, I'll keep you guys updated with that. But this is literally all I wanted to come on here and tell you guys, was just how my life was going, how I seen it happening. The future of this channel, I hope to never get rid of it. Like, I always want to be here. I always want to be here to support you guys. If you guys are having a bad day, I'm here. I've probably been through the same stuff as you have. I also forgot to mention seasonal depression has obviously kicked in too, and that's been another factor in just trying to do everything. Like, it's literally almost 5 o'clock and it is dark outside right now, which is ridiculous. It's just, don't even get me started. Seasonal depression's a real thing for people, and it sucks. And if you wanted to see what Peppa is looking like now, look how big she's gotten. She's no longer that little bitty baby that you guys seen. She is huge and in charge and everything now, so some things never change. But obviously, being in my work, there's just been a couple of things that I've seen also that have really taken a hit to my heart and just everything that's been going on. I have seen loved ones literally having the most perfect day ever. Them talking about what they're going to do the next day, what they're going to bring. Obviously, because hospital food sucks. And literally by midnight, they break you down and you're having to call their spouse and tell them that, hey, you might want to get to the hospital because things aren't looking good. I've had them go so quickly that we have to place the phone next to the person's ear and let them say their goodbyes that way. But the room is always surrounded with people and when that happens. And it's been hard. It's brought up a lot of emotions that I never expect to happen. Like I said, past trauma has just been resurfacing a lot. Not being able to say goodbye to my grandfather and just everything else. So that's why I think I've been away. I just really needed to focus on myself. I needed to focus on my family, and it's not that I'm being selfish or that I'm being lazy. I guess I kind of am. I guess I could pull myself together and do this, but mental health is a real thing, and I think that everybody, especially YouTube content creators, all the like, we all need some time sometimes to just kind of pull ourselves out, pull ourselves together, and just have that motivation to do it again. There's so many things that I want to do with The Sims. There's so many things that I have planned and that I want to do, but when I sit down, I'm not even gonna lie, I just don't have that mental capacity to do it, or I'm just feeling bleh, and I'm just like, okay, maybe not today, maybe I'll try again tomorrow. And it just seems like that's always been happening, and I wanted to apologize for that, because I know that it's hard, especially when you get into a series and the series just kind of like peters out. It's hard to get back into it, especially if you lose a couple, and I hope to get back into it very soon. There's so much more that I could sit here and talk about, but I don't want it to be like an overwhelming amount of emotions today. I said I was gonna cry, and I already did. But I love you guys so stinking much, and I'll see you guys real soon on my next video. And remember, you are loved, and you are special, and you are kind, and have an amazing day, and I will see you guys real soon. Bye, guys. Mwah. Bye, friends.